from all teams, especially the Cougars. Houston are playing so well, looking for their second conference championship with their great leadership with Leonie Harm. A great day for golf. It looks like it's going to be a good scoring day. We saw a 68 yesterday from Maddie Rayner, the lowest of the tournament. It's great conditions for scoring today.
We'll check in with Maddie in just a moment, but a reminder for the next few hours, we'll camp out here on the 18th hole, watch the top 6 teams wrap up their final scores, and if needed, like last year, possibly even have a playoff for the individual crown. But we mentioned Maddie Rayner yesterday, brilliant, 4 under 68 on day 2. She had a chance to catch up with our Haley Out.
Maddie, you shot a 74 yesterday and a 68 today. What was the biggest difference in your game in the second round of the tournament?
I'd say probably putting. I putted a lot better today. Warmed up a little bit different with some more putting stroke and just kind of getting the feel. Kind of felt really good with the speed of the greens, and just pretty much every putt I looked at, I felt like it was going to go in.
What changed for you on the back 9 today?
I actually hit a little bump on the front 9 for sure, and kind of just made the turn and was like, I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to relax back out, chill, have some fun. It's my first year at conference, my last year playing for Houston, so why not just go out and just do it, just live it up.
What was the biggest difference in terms of the winds yesterday compared to the winds today?
I think it was a south wind yesterday, and today it was a north wind, so about the same kind of mile per hour, but completely flipped. So we were out there trying to figure it out, and I think the whole team completely adjusted immediately to the completely different direction.
Your round today was the best so far in the 2 days so far in the tournament. What did your teammates say to you after you finished up here?
They were really happy for me. They know it's my best collegiate round yet, so had my friend run up me at the end of the round, kind of give me a big bear hug, and our other senior, Leo, gave me a big high five and told me she was proud of me. It feels really good.
This is your first time playing in the American Conference tournament. What are some of these emotions as you're a senior, but you're also playing some of your best golf in your career?
I'm really emotional. I'm really happy to be here. We have a joke on the team. Everything I do is just good vibes. Take every day as it comes and just move on. And that's kind of what I feel like I've brought here today is just move on from yesterday, bring it back today, and then take it into tomorrow.
How much has this been a team effort all season long?
Oh, it's such a team effort. I mean, we've just come together this semester. This year completely, the 5 of us have been so great, and the girls back home have just been the most amount of support. This is honestly our team is just full of love for each other, and there's nothing but laughter and love. It sounds so cheesy, but it's all we do is just bring each other up and bring out the best.
A couple of young faces as well as a couple of veterans like yourself. What makes this team so unique compared to others in the past?
I think the energy we have for each other on the course, we want 100% the best out of each other, and we see it, and we're willing to wait after shots. I was glad there was a little slow play today because I could wait and I could watch Hannah hit her shots because I know Hannah was playing by herself, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. I could wait here, clap for her when she hits it close. So it was really nice.
All right, thanks, Maddie. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you
Appreciate
so much.
it.
Scores 3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a 4th straight year.
Cueto from 30. Unbelievable.
And be able to celebrate the second championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
Welcome back here on this 3rd and final day in which we'll be crowning both team and individual champions. Let's take a look at some of the individuals. Of course, 1 year ago, Taryn Torgerson of Wichita State able to hold off the youthful Dorothea Forbridge. Today, Forbridge is making a charge. Those standings we showed you earlier today, she's outside the top 5. She is in the hunt for a title here today. We'll have more on that. Of course, Michaela Fletcher carries the hopes for the Memphis Tigers along the way. As Fletcher at the moment hanging on in the top 12. Slow back 9 performance here early on. Again, we'll get you some of the official scores as we continue. But how about the bright spot for UCF, our unofficial host this week, the freshman Elizabeth Moon making a name for herself. And you're going to see a lot of Cougars, including, of course, we heard from her earlier today. Maddie Rayner, brilliant yesterday, continuing that showing today as she remains in the top 5. Her teammate Maria Jose Martinez as well, helping lead the Cougars presumably to a second straight title. And Leonie Harm looking to perhaps capture the individual championship. What a story Leonie has been this year, trying to hold off the rest of the pack. Again, Leonie Harm right now, Elizabeth Moon, your top 2 at the moment in a battle. Both are 6 under par, approaching the final few holes today. Well, with more on Leonie, let's check back in with Haley Outen.
Lincoln, Leonie is one Houston player looking to claim her first American title today, and she's currently sitting in the lead. For Leonie, though, when I had a chance to catch up with Garrett Chadwell yesterday, he said Leonie has taken her game to a whole new level this season. He referred back to the quote that we often hear in golf, and that the game is 90% mental and 10% physical. He said Leonie's always had the talent, but she's really been at peace on the course this year, and we haven't quite seen the emotional side come out of her throughout the course of the season.
And what a story Leonie has been. Of course, we shared that with our audience last year. Hit by a driver as a kid, and her parents literally were told by a doctor there's no hope. And yet, that fortunately, thank goodness, proved to be wrong, and here she is, a world-class athlete.
She has taken the long, long road back, and what a story, and what a spring for Leonie. Lincoln, she was in the Augusta Women's Amateur just a couple of weeks ago in Augusta, Georgia. She didn't make the cut, but on Saturday she got to play and had a practice round around Augusta National. She won the Women's Amateur in Great Britain to qualify, and that's a heck of a field, and that's a prestigious tournament. That's how she got to Augusta, but it looks like she's going to be fighting with Elizabeth Moon for the medalist championship of the conference, and and will lead her Houston team to victory. But a great story and a wonderful player.
Now, of course, by virtue of being your leaders coming into today, we will not see Leonie and the Cougars nor Elizabeth Moon and the Knights until a little bit later on after our other teams come through. We're about to see again USF and SMU. You see some of the golfers coming into your shot as both the Bulls and the Mustangs among the top 6 teams that began on the first tee today. We will point out, of course, Wichita State, Tulsa, Tulane, Cincinnati all began on tee number 10, so they are wrapping up today over on the other half of the course. But today we'll get a chance to see the Bulls, Mustangs, Pirates, Tigers, Cougars, and Knights by virtue of their showing among the top 6 today. Again, another one of those individuals we won't see for just a little while will be Dorothea Forbridge, who came into today tied for 6th at a +1. Forbridge today was riding a 4 under, and still that is the case as she has shot up the standings. She is just outside that title picture involving Harm and Moon.
This is a great shot of the par 5, 500-yard finishing hole at Conservatory. Water to the left. You can't go left, but you can't force it to the right because you have bunkers on the right side. As this is a wonderful, wonderful hole as we see Kennedy Pedigo from SMU with her second shot. She's got a metal wood trying for position. I don't think anybody's going to go for it today, Lincoln, because it's a long hole, but this is all about position on her second shot.
Overall, great conditions. You do see the wind. Temperatures very reasonable, right in the mid-70s. Last year we experienced on 3 days 3 different climates, it seemed like, whether it was raining the first day, great gusts of wind that did a number on people's scores coming into the final day. But again, the first pairing for USF and SMU, you have Kennedy Pedigo and Sophie Stone. They were both tied for 37th with an 11 over showing coming into today. As our first look at the Bull.
Sophie Stone has looks like a 3-wood out, 3 metal. It's going to be for position because I don't think many of the players will try to go for the green in 2. They've got to go over a big bulkhead, right, that protects the green. So she's looking for position right now. Beautiful swing as she cuts it over the water, and she's just looking for position. Leave something around 120, 130 yards out to this par 5 hole.
Sophie with a 75 on day 1 and 80 yesterday, a +13 at the moment. And she has been able to move up a couple of spots, tied for 35th.
It's a little bit windy, which is going to play havoc with this 18. But look at all that water. The water to the left, traps to the right. This is an inland golf course. There's another golf course at Hammock with the Ocean Course, which was designed by Jack Nicklaus. This course was designed by the great Tom Watson, features 140 bunkers. And that's a lot of bunkers for an 18-hole golf course. But you see Kennedy making her way up the fairway. Kennedy played 2 years at Paschal High School in Fort Worth, Texas, a great heritage of golf at that high school. She later went down to Houston and finished her high school career there. But Paschal High School is known for a lot of great golfers throughout the years, and the world's greatest golf writer who just passed away last month, Dan Jenkins, is a Paschal High School graduate. So a wonderful high school in Fort Worth, and I'm sure she played rounds at Colonial and Mira Vista and all the great golf courses around Fort Worth. So they're finishing up, and this will be their last hole of the year. It's not going to be their last hole of the year. Last hole of the year for their respective teams. I'm sure both these young ladies will be playing a whole lot of summer golf to improve their game.
Well, you mentioned Pedigo, of course, out of Fort Worth for SMU, and you talk about SMU's home course these days over there at Trinity Forest, the new home of the Byron Nelson. What a resource for the Mustangs.
Oh, man, they've got a beautiful, beautiful learning center over there. It's, as you said, Lincoln, the home of the SMU men's and women's golf team. Cameron McCormick is head teaching pro there. He's Jordan Spieth's teaching pro. Trinity Forest, designed by Ben Crenshaw and Bill Core. As you said, that's where they play the Byron Nelson. It is so unique golf course there because there's no trees there, Lincoln. When they built the golf course, they had to take all trees, all foliage, because it was a dump site. But now it is the site for a PGA Tour stop. A fascinating golf course. It looks like something from Scotland, or it's a link-style golf course in South Dallas. But it's a wonderful, wonderful thing for SMU to have that as their home base.
We're about to see, I believe, Sadie Duenton Davies tied for 34th coming into today for the Bulls with her tee shot. She is paired with Ana Paula Ramirez of SMU today. But we talk about SMU right now. They sit 6th among the 10 teams in the American, a plus 26 overall. They are playing even today while the Bulls are a plus 1. So they've pulled within 3 strokes of their counterparts at the moment. And this is about an ideal approach, about as good as you can get.
That's Kennedy, and Kennedy has a beautiful shot from around 130 yards. This is a split-level green where you must get it to the back half of the green because it is a very demanding shot, and what a beautiful shot by Kennedy Pedigo of SMU.
Duenton Davies begins her experience here on the 18th hole.
You see that big sand trap right in front of the green, right in front of the tee box. That's not in play for these great golfers as they just blast it through it. And there's a beautiful drive right down the middle.
Back over to Sophie Stone.
Sophie will have about 100 yards to this green. And again, you got to get it on the back half of the green because it would be very, very difficult. I believe I'm not sure if she's in the bunker or not, but she's in low. We'll see if the sand blasts out. But this is a tough shot regardless because she's got to get it up very, very quickly. And she was in the sand, so she blasts out. And she gets it. That's a good shot from where she was. She's still on the top level, Lincoln, so it's going to be a very difficult birdie putt, but still a birdie putt for Sophie Stone.
Sophie was even on the front 9 all throughout the first 9 holes today. We saw a bogey and a double bogey here on the back 9, but rebounded nicely back on 15 with a birdie to reclaim a stroke. And as you see how, again, our first Bull and Mustang pairings look on the green here at 18.
And you can see from the shot there with the sand trap that Sophie Stone hit it in. It intersects the fairway. It's a tough layup for these young ladies, but it's going to be interesting to see how the different strategies are. You remember last year, Leonie Harm hit it to the right, just avoiding the traps and all sorts of danger for the University of Houston in her final hole of last year's conference championship.
See how these two women can close out number 18. Obviously, the story for USF last year was working in a new head coach mid-season with Erica Brennan. What a difference having a full year for the former Southern Miss coach has made. Talk about recreating the excitement around women's golf throughout the Tampa area with this Bulls program. Brought in 3 additions onto the roster. A lot of success recruiting moving forward when you look at some of their signings down the road. As 3/5 of this lineup that we're seeing this week, brand new for the Bulls, and immediately finding some impact golfers.
Yeah, and it's amazing how these great coaches from the conference will go worldwide. This is not just Florida girls or Texas girls for SMU. Golf is a worldwide sport, and they are really going to a lot of places to find these young golfers through AJGA tournaments, world rankings, and the various countries. As Sophie is looking at this putt, look, it's a tough putt because of the elevation change, and this is all about speed. The great golfer Ben Crenshaw told me, I asked him, what's the first thing you look at? He says speed, the speed of the putt. That's number one. He always said, don't fall in love with the line, get the speed for a lag putt, as this will be a lag putt for Sophie Stone of South Florida.
Obviously, the 3rd straight day that they have played this course. By now, I have a good sense of what adjustments need to be made.
Sure, they know this golf course after playing the 3 days and playing it last year. So, but what an interesting green this is, designed by Tom Watson with the levels. And this is exactly, I believe, Lincoln, where the flag was last year for the ladies in the final hole, in their final hole of the tournament.
It looks like a very similar finish. And this will be the hole that is used if we do have a playoff. And at the moment, we do have a pair tied on the leaderboard in terms of both Harm and Moon of Houston and UCF at 6 under. 3 strokes back is Forbridge for ECU, as she has climbed here today. We'll see her a little bit later on. But here is the first putt from Stone.
Really picks up speed, and she hit the cup. And you'll notice, different from last year, Lincoln, they left the flag in, and that was great strategy by Sophie Stone. Under the new rules of golf, you can leave the pin in as long as you want to, and even though Sophie did not hit the pin, she hit the hole, so it gives him a little added direction, and on this putt especially, Sophie's putt, it helps him out from not going crazy.
I'm still waiting for the rule change that would favor me, where you can leave the orange boards on either side of the hole, as this one nearly drops in for Sophie Stone.
Boy, Kennedy Pedigo of SMU really has a great shot at birdie now to finish her tournament. She's plus 11 right now, tied for 37th in the conference, and this will leave her with a really, really good taste in her mouth if she can make this birdie to end her tournament.
Again, there will be 4 more Mustangs to follow her here on 18.
Beautiful, beautiful birdie for Kennedy Pedigo to end her tournament.
So that wraps up the 3 days for both, well, I should say for Kennedy Pedigo, Sophie Stone, presumably with at least one more putt coming up. Another look here at the finish for Kennedy.
Well played, speed putt, just slightly breaking from her right to left, and just a beautiful, beautiful pace on that putt.
So the sophomore all done here in Florida. Back to the senior from Oxford, England. USF's best finish was 3rd a couple years ago in 2016. That was over on the Ocean Course. And those two who have spent the day together congratulate one another on wrapping up here day 3.
Yeah, they finished it in a strong way. Both of the golfers, one with a birdie, one with a par, and that's a good way to end their conference tournament.
So back to Sadie Dewinton Davies and Ana Paula Ramirez for USF and SMU respectively.
Ana Paula is one of the great young golfers from Mexico. Mexico is really producing a lot of great young women golfers, and Ana Paula is one of them, as she has a really, really good short game, as most of these college golfers do. But it's really surprising if you ever get to go to a tournament, and what a day it would be to come down here this afternoon to watch the power that these athletes have, and really, really great golfers.
Again, Coach Sutherland leading the way for the Mustangs as both of these golfers looking to follow up their tee shots a moment ago. As we continue to welcome Bulls and Mustangs to the party here on 18. There you see Faith Summers for SMU as they'll have their tee shots in just a moment. Back to Ana Paula Ramirez.
She's got a 3 medal out, and she's not going to be looking at the green. She'll be looking to the right side. As you see the bulkhead there, right, that protects the green. That would take a mighty blow to go to the green. And Ana Paula, I don't believe is going to even. She's looking to the right, and she's just looking for a placement for a third shot and do what her teammate did and to get a birdie. Nice, beautiful swing. Good pace as she's eyeing the ball. And it goes slightly to the right, but I think it's an okay position. She's going to have a little chip onto the green, so she had a big drive.
She's had a couple of birdies today, including back on 5, as well as to begin the back 9 over on 10. But a few bogeys and a couple of double bogeys on 13 and 14. She is still hanging on among the top 40 golfers today.
Her playing partner, Sadie Dutton-Davies, is an interesting situation. We'll get in more with Sadie, but she's from the country of Wales as we go back up to the tee box.
So first up for the Bulls, tied for 26 right now, Ramya. A +9 for the week. We got started on Sunday, continued yesterday. She tests the slight wind conditions.
She's from Jacksonville, Florida. Really, really good swing. Been playing golf all her life. Played in a ton of junior tournaments in the Jacksonville area and chose South Florida just because she loved the courses in the area, wanted to stay close to home. You'll see that the water on the left, it's going to take a mighty blow to hit that water, but bunkers to the right, bunkers to the left, and waters to the left. Again, you want to hit it to the right center side of the fairway. You don't want to even mess with anything on the left because it could make for a very difficult shot.
Yeah, the freshman this year has been leading the Bulls with her 72.8 scoring average. 4 top 10 finishes this year, 12 rounds of par or better, ties her as just a freshman for the program season record. We're talking about a record that was set back in the early 90s. What a splash she has made here in her first year. Started her career this past fall, finishing 2nd overall at the USA Intercollegiate. And so, again, obviously a lot of bright things ahead. Very intelligent young woman as well, part of the honor roll there for USF Athletics.
It's Faith Summers now on the tee box. She went to high school at San Antonio Reagan High School as she is a junior. And really, really pretty swing. As she likes it, she picks the tee up very, very quickly. As both of these players really, that's a big drive by Faith Summers, too. Look out, that's a big drive. Almost about 75 yards past her playing partner, but very good drive for Faith Summers of SMU.
Yeah, nice start for the former Reagan High School Rattler out of the Alamo City. As we work our way back to the green with Ana Paula Ramirez and her counterpart with the Bulls, Sadie Dutton-Davies. Again, great to have you with us today here on the American Digital Network. Women's Championship today. 1 week from today, it'll be the 3rd and final round for the men, as we'll be back in the Sunshine State. Last year, USF was so dominant on the men's side. As the approach here from Dutton-Davies.
And she's interesting. She's from Wales, Lincoln, and she also played junior college golf at Western Texas Junior College in Snyder, Texas. And that's got to be a little cultural shock when you go from the beautiful country of Wales to West Texas where there are not many trees. But she is a fine, fine player with great experience in Great Britain. She lost it up very, very high approaching this, and it goes a little long.
I'm told there's not quite yet a direct flight to Snyder from Wales.
I don't believe so.
It's not the worst situation for her right there.
No, she'll be chipping for a birdie here. Ana Paula Ramirez is a very difficult shot, though. She's got to get it up very, very quickly. But Sadie Dutton-Davies is a great player for the future. And I think she's going to be she's going to be reckoned with in her career because she has a very, very good game, and playing around the world in different conditions really helps these young golfers.
It really is one of these sports where we can lazily talk about freshmen and so much to learn at the college level, but a lot of these international players already have world-class experience under their belt.
Yeah. Ana Paula Ramirez, first round 76, the second round 78, as she's concluding her tournament right now with a shot to the green on this difficult par 5, 500-yard closing hole.
Yeah, length of the green here to go for Ramirez.
She's really going to look at this because it's a tough shot. It's all about hitting on top and then getting it to roll down. Play a sand wedge or a very lofty club, and she's done it. It's going to be a very, very nice shot. Very, very nice shot. Wow.
And that is all that's left for her today. Presumably a putt away from wrapping up her championship experience. SMU a couple years ago with their best finish here in the American. Your runner-up in 2017. That was right here on this observatory course. Again, we are at Hammock Beach Golf and Spa Resort. The conservatory course a few years ago is the Oceanside. But here in Palm Coast, Florida, about 30 miles north of Daytona Beach. We are 80 miles from the host campus in Orlando of UCF. About an hour south of Jacksonville. All 10 schools participating. Our top 6 are finishing here on the back 9.
Sadie can play this two ways. She can hit it low with a 7 or 8 iron and run it, or she could use a more lofted club and pitch it up. It looks like she probably has a pitching wedge or maybe something like a 9 iron to punch this up. Yeah, it went a little high, but it's got to stop. But not a bad shot at all from that location.
A chance to finish in 4.
It's interesting about the pin. I still am fascinated about the pin. Last week at Augusta, many players left the pin in all the time. Adam Scott left it in almost all the time. Ricky Fowler would leave it in. It's just what they like and what they're used to. As Bryson DeChambeau is a guy who keeps the flag in all the time. He had his first hole-in-one at Augusta National. Of course, the flag was in on the hole-in-one on 16, but they call him the Rain Man on the PGA Tour because he does all his calculations, and he was a great SMU men's golfer during his day and won a national championship.
When we're crowning a champion next year, you think we'll see a spike in terms of mock turtlenecks?
I think so. Red mock. SMU should be wearing them today, just like Tiger did.
Perhaps a little late to get that order in. These women were playing golf during that final round over in, or I should say up in Georgia. Looking to tap this one in.
Oop, just a little push right there, and she's not going to be happy with her final hole in this conference championship. Just pushed it to the right.
Want to remind you as you follow along, the easiest way to keep track of live scores and final tallies of how your favorite student athletes perform, head on over to the championship webpage for women's golf at theamerican.org. Go to Championship Central. You'll find a link to the golf stat, both leaderboard for the overall teams as well as these individuals. But so many great student athletes to try to keep track of. We are camped out here for the morning and early afternoon on 18 as we watch all the student athletes wrap up their 3-day experience.
Not a bad place to be on a beautiful day in Florida. This is what they advertise, and you said the 2 courses are magnificent. The Ocean course and this conservatory course gives golfers a couple of little different courses to play. Oh,
wrap up their experience.
This is her 3rd shot, and she had a beautiful layup on this par 5. Rain, of course, from Jacksonville, Florida. Got one of their coaches right there helping her out. That's the beautiful thing about college golf, Lincoln. They can use the link finder with the exact yard, They can ask their coaches questions, and coach can advise. Coach can recommend clubs to use. This looks like this is going to be about a 130-yard shot, so more than likely a 9-iron for Rema.
And again, she's third in the rotation today for the Bulls with her performance this week, but she's been your leader for much of the year, the true freshman here for USF. Now, you talk about a Bulls team that was impacted by injury, but you bring in the senior transfer Jacqueline Twitty with her impact, as well as junior Sadie Dewington-Davies this year. And it's been a nice first full year, officially second year now, with Erica Brennan here in conference play. But we saw it. The stats don't lie. When you look at the golf stat ranking last year, they finished at 155. They come into this weekend at 84.
Well, unfortunately, that was a little bit of a push, and she is in the right bunker. And that's going to be a difficult shot in this undulating green. Not the shot she was looking for at all. As you can hear with the wind blowing, it has been a little difficult. And there's Faith Summers, who had a big drive and an absolutely gorgeous layup for the SMU Mustang from San Antonio, Texas. She just has a little bit of a wedge. It's going to be interesting too on this one, Lincoln, because you can play it with a pitch. You can play it with a sand wedge and go high, or get the ball on the green and run it down there. The difficulty, if you run the ball, it's going to pick up a lot of speed and a lot of pace. The wind slightly in their face. So let's see what she's going to do. She has taken it high and well, she hit the slope. So not a bad shot at all. Not a bad shot at all.
Faith has been a mover today. She had 2 birdies on the front 9. She would then birdie 10, 11, and 15. Now, mix in 3 bogeys along the way, but she has been a climber today into the top 15. As we bring in our 4th Mustang, Bridget Dunn. Came in today tied for 18th. Dunn has climbed as well into the top 12. As you see her tee shot.
If Bridget's a California girl that decided to go to SMU, and a really, really long hitter. As she's hit a little bit to the left, but she's in good position for the next shot.
Bridget's been pretty steady at even, a couple of birdies on 8 and 11. As she's been paired with Natalia Villavicencio. Both of them, again, at 6 over for the week coming into today. Here is Natalia, the Chilean.
Yeah, she's considered one of the top 10 players from the country of Chile in the women's side, as she's played extensively in that country. She's a transfer from Western Carolina. She doesn't like that. Not sure where it ended up, but she did not like that. But Chile is really producing some wonderful golfers. Joaquin Neiman, who's on the PGA Tour. But she is an up-and-coming star from Chile.
And you see the contrasting situations here. Back for our 3rd Mustang and 3rd Bull to come through. Faith Summers the more advantageous opportunity. And she'll likely hold off for the shot from the bunker from the freshman here.
Yeah, she's got to get this up really, really quickly and play the slope. She'll play this to the left side and have it come down. Beautiful shot. Boy, that's a gorgeous sand shot by Rema there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sand shot.
That'll give her a chance to bounce back.
Yeah, it's, for her par putt, a good way to end this thing. But these young ladies are magical in the sand. And many times they would rather be in the sand. She just pops it out and uses the slope. It goes to the right, about 5 feet from the cup, and a very, very makeable putt for her par. Now, Faith Summers from SMU has a birdie putt, big drive, beautiful position on the second shot, and now she's got a putt for birdie to end this tournament for SMU. Excellent player. She's currently 7 over par, tied for 21st, and she would love to get a birdie here to move up that leaderboard and help out her team.
And Mustangs at the moment a couple strokes back of SMU in a battle for a top 5 finish. I should say behind USF. Houston still your leader. Commanding advantage. After that, UCF Memphis, the Pirates of ECU, and these two programs.
A little bit of a pull there. I'm not sure if there's a hole there, Lincoln. The last 3 putts we've seen have missed. But she will end with her par and end her junior season for SMU with a par. I know she's frustrated about that. But
Stone and Pedigo made it look so easy.
They did.
But yeah, some struggles just for that punctuation on this third and final day.
Again, the Houston Cougars now have a 24-shot lead over UCF for the team title, as they are, as a team, 9 under par, playing great golf.
Well, UCF like their chances. If for no other reason, they tend to win on the odd years. They won it a couple years ago, and then a couple years prior to that as well. Houston's looking for its first ever back-to-back showing. The Knights and the Cougars, the only programs who have won multiple titles in the American. Big putt here.
Pretty much a straight putt for Mima, and yeah, took care of business. Very good up and down from the sand.
What a year for her. Freshman here in the American. So many great things still to look forward to. Again, one of the many new faces for the Bulls is she'll have another 3 years of eligibility left, and then, of course, Summers able to tap it home as those two conclude their day.
Yeah, Faye Summers will play one more year at SMU, and I know she'll be happy to get back to Dallas and get with her amateur golf.
Well, a little break and play. Chance for us to check back in with Haley.
When you look at the team leaderboard, Houston has nearly a 35-stroke lead, but for UCF, it's absolutely crucial that they hang on to that second spot. They're ranked number 51, and historically the top 55 head to the NCAA tournament. So when I talked to UCF head coach Emily Marin yesterday, she said that 2 spot is crucial. If they can clinch that today, she feels very comfortable that they'll make the NCAA tournament. If they finish at number 3, with which Memphis is really closely behind them right now, they'll have to hold their breath a little bit more.
Haley, thank you very much. Again, that's a former 2-time championship program out of Orlando, our official host this week. They've never been worse than a top 5 finish. Right now, trying to hang on to that runner-up showing. It's a Knights program that they themselves very international.
Yes.
We'll see one Floridian factoring in today, one Arkansas native after that, Japan, and a couple of players from Mexico. Both of these Florida schools do so well with international recruiting. Why not?
Oh, yeah.
Mail the brochure, sign them up.
Why not? Villavicencio is taking a drop, and I'm not so sure why she's taking the drop right there. But she has taken a drop, and her coach is right there helping her with making sure it's right. Of course, a new rule, Lincoln, where you must take the drop at the knee level. We've seen the pro golfers get confused. Ricky Fowler got confused at a tournament where he dropped from his shoulder. It must be, I believe, that Natalia hit it in the water. I believe that's where she's dropping back. So you can better bet that she did hit it into the water, and now will be hitting 3.
The senior from Santiago, Chile, had to learn a lot of new names this year. She's the only Bull among the 5 today who competed on this course last year for USF. Won a couple of titles this year. Her first individual championship, or I should say USF's first individual championship since 2015, again, as they continue to get the program back on track in a hurry. Also closed out the regular season with a victory. She's been an integral part of this program now ever since her transfer from Western Carolina.
I think she wanted to go deep with her third shot. She had the 3-wood out, the metal 3 out now with one of her coaches there. Now they're talking about this. I love this. Talking about now she's going back to a hybrid. Yeah, that's a hybrid. So she's saying, hey, I can go a little deeper, coach, than you think I can. I'm going to put up this iron and take it to the hoop on my last hole of the year.
Of course, her native tongue Spanish, but pretty easy to interpret international body language there of
That's right.
we're going to go over.
Yeah, going to do that. She wants to cut as much off as she can, and she doesn't like it.
So we'll see if she can rebound. As again, Villavicencio today is paired with Bridget Dunn of SMU. Only one more bowl that we'll introduce you to. That'll be Jacqueline Twitty, Lauren Chappell for the Mustangs. We'll close things out.
Bridget Dunn's playing her last round, last hole for SMU. She's a senior from Camarillo, California. She has a 3 medal out. Let's see what she does. Again, it's a big blow to get it to the green, and just about every one of the golfers today will just play for position. But she's trying to cut off as much of the water she can, but you got to be careful. You can't cut it too close, as we've seen before. That looks like that's a big bomb. She had looks like a really big blow.
Well, you know she's not conservative. She is, in her spare time, a surfer, a skateboarder, aggressive mentality there. The former multiple-time all-conference performer. In fact, again, Dunn, our freshman of the year, Brigitte, back in 2016.
And she took the long way home there. She hit it a big. She's going to have an easy eagle chip, not an easy eagle chip, but I have a chip for eagle.
So with Brigitte Dunn out of the way, here's her teammate Lauren Chappell about to tee off.
Good player from Charleston, Illinois. As she entered today, tied for 15th. She's currently 5 over par for the tournament. Nice showing.
Arrived in Dallas last year as a 3 times individual state champion in Illinois.
She was looking to the right, so I think she hit it to the right just a bit.
Again, she is paired with Jacqueline Twitty, who's tied for 8th. Chappell was tied for 15th coming into today. As we're about to see the final bowl here with Twitty. Transfer from Louisville, now senior year.
Well, she's got a big turn, and she's got a whole lot of experience as she can get that club head moving.
See if it'll stay.
Yeah, it's good shape. Really good shape. A lot of water. Look at all those traps. 140 traps on this Tom Watson designed golf course. That's a lot of traps and a lot of water. Of course, the ocean course, which is on the ocean, there's a lot of beach there.
It's beautiful to look at, but it can pose some obstacles.
It can be very, very devilish if you're not used to. Let me just say, put the way, you probably need more than one sleeve of golf balls to play this golf course.
Back over to Villavicencio. Natalia again finished the front 9 with a pair of birdies to finish 1 under on the front 9 today. Would start off the back 9 with a bogey, bounce back with a 2 on the par 3 12.
She really has a bright future. Villavicencio, as we talked about, from Chile, plays in many, many, many junior tournaments there and has been very successful in her home country and trying to make her mark here in the United States in the American Conference.
Again, Lincoln Rose along with Ed Clements. Of course, you can catch Ed over on Sirius XM PGA Tour Radio. Appreciate you working overtime with some midweek golf.
Love it. I can watch every day as you could probably watch golf every day. And especially these wonderful, wonderful international players like Natalia, who plays for USF, and a really good game. I know she's frustrated right now because she had to take the drop, but she's trying to end it in a positive way.
right now among the top 25 golfers this week.
Hit the downslope and wouldn't stop for her, but not in terrible position. Not in terrible position.
Let's see if that hole is in a better mood after past few golfers have struggled. As we wrap up with USF and SMU, a reminder Memphis and ECU are both approaching the 18th hole. We'll have a chance to introduce you to some of the Tigers and Pirates soon enough. But right now our fourth and fifth golfers coming through for the Bulls and Mustangs.
Brigitte looks like she's got a 56-degree or a 60-degree sand wedge out there, as this could be a very, very difficult shot for her. Very difficult shot. Just got to get it up and get it just a little easing over the big hump in the middle of the green to get it to the back of the green. Plays it in the back of her stance, and that's what she's got to do.
Had a second place finish a couple years ago on this course, the first year we played the championship here.
Now that's got to stop.
Yeah, a little heavy.
Yeah, it's a difficult shot. And in the lie she had there, the tight lie, I think she hit it lower than she wanted to. She wanted to get some loft on that, didn't do it. Side hill lie, difficult shot for the SMU Mustang.
See if Natalia can finish on a high note here. Again, so much optimism going into next year for the Bulls. Natalia's been a big part of relaying this foundation for USF and reestablishing new expectations. They'll lose her as well as Stone and Twitty, 3 of the 5 we've seen this week. But Erica Brennan, from everything we've seen this year, really has this Bulls program pointed in the right direction. This is after Brennan was able to really relaunch Southern Miss. Big turnaround there, and it looks like she has the same thing going in Tampa.
Now, this could be a big shot on the team standings, because right now, I believe South Florida is 2 shots in front of SMU. I'm not sure if we've updated it totally, but there could be a little flip here with the 5 position and number 6 position with these last couple of golfers. SMU as a team today, 2 over par. South Florida, 4 over par as a team.
Yeah, they sit in 5th and 6th respectively, the Bulls and SMU.
This is a birdie putt for Brigitte Dunn, using the Texas wedge off the green. Took a little hop on her, Lincoln, and the ball stopped moving forward. She's not going to like that, but a very, very makeable putt for her par.
As she'll step aside again for her Bull counterpart, Villavicencio.
Yeah, Villavicencio's not been happy on this hole at all. Her drive in the water, a second shot was somewhat wild. The third shot, push. This is the fourth. Yeah, it's tough. Very, 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 very difficult for her on this 18th hole. Not what she wanted to do. Didn't move to the right for her. And she's still not happy. It's par putt of Brigitte Dunn, who had a big drive, big second shot, mediocre chip, and a mediocre putt, but this is for her par 5.
And with that, Dunn wraps up her 3 days here in Florida. And our penultimate bull.
Had a way to get it in.
That'll leave us with just Jacqueline Twitty to represent USF here on this Tuesday, along with Lauren Chappell for SMU. Before we bring ECU and Memphis into the home stretch on their 3rd day. Back here to Twitty. Again, came in today a +2, tied for 8th. Leading the charge for the Bulls. Right now has slipped to tie for 10th. Still at a +2. Her problem is she's seen some others climbing on this final day.
Good contact, as it's all about her positioning, and ooh, it's going to be, I'm not sure if it might be in the water, as our cameras were looking that way.
And she is going to be officially just short of the sand trap.
Good, good. That's good.
As Lauren Chappell came into today tied for 15th, a +5. Right now, it's moved up to 14th, still at a +5 on the day. Had a 75 round 1, 74 yesterday. Birdie back on the 3rd hole this morning. I lost that stroke with a bogey on 16. Has been pretty much par all day long. And a chance to welcome in the Memphis Tigers, Victoria Gallegos. She'll be paired with ECU's Grace Yarawara. Memphis and ECU are second to last pairing. We'll see UCF and Houston with the final push on the day. Grace with her tee shot coming up, tied for 47th coming into today at a +16. Still sits at 47th, +25 at the moment. But boy, did she have a nice turnaround yesterday. She was an 85 on Sunday yesterday. Was able to shed 10 strokes.
It's big when you can do that. That's big for the confidence.
So Tigers and Pirates are officially on 18 as our final Mustangs and Bulls wrapping things up here around the green.
Yeah, they're going to be fighting for 3rd place, Lincoln, because Memphis is currently 19 over, East Carolina 23 over. A lot of things can happen on this risk-reward 18th hole.
Again, 5 golfers each dropped that low score. Last year, Tulsa, what a year it was for them. They only had 4 healthy golfers for the final stretch last season, so they had to keep each and every score. That's a lot of pressure.
Well, Jacqueline Twitty was fortunate that ball didn't go in the water because they were looking left. This is going to be a very difficult sand shot because it's a long sand shot and close to the edge of that bunker, and she's may have a little trouble with the bush right there as well. It's going to test all her skills, I'll put it that way. Now conferring about, what do you think? Should I play it on top of the ridge there? Do I play it left? It's not an easy shot by any stretch of the imagination. That's well played.
Well, whatever the debate was internally, I would say the right choice prevailed. Well done.
3 feet for a birdie to end her tournament. This is a very nice shot. Best bunker shot we've seen from the day by Jacqueline Twitty.
And she's one of the 4 new faces this year on this course for the Bulls. Former Louisville Cardinal, wrapping up her career with USF. And back to her counterpart, Lauren Chappell.
Lauren's just a sophomore, so she's got a lot of great days ahead for her at SMU. As I know, SMU's a bit disappointed about the way they played earlier this week, but it's all about momentum. And they can head back to Dallas, as we said, Trinity Forest, the new Ben Crenshaw, Bill Coore designed golf course where SMU men's and women's team play. And it's state-of-the-art there in Lincoln, too. The facilities they have, the practice bays, the very, very big driving range they have. As I said, Cameron McCormick is there, Jordan Spieth, coach, and all the opportunities in the world to improve your game at a world-class golf facility.
Of course, Spieth went to high school in Dallas at Jesuit Dallas.
They're about a month away from the Byron Nelson golf tournament, won by Aaron Wise last year. It's kind of an interesting situation because Byron Nelson is sandwiched between the PGA Championship and Colonial.
So again, here's Chappell. Mustangs this year, ranked by GolfStat coming into this week at 61 in the country. That put them at the 4 seed in this conference. One of a handful of teams just outside, your ideal cutoff, your top 50 programs.
A little more than she wanted, but still, that's all about the speed. When you go from one level to the next, all about speed. She'll have a little work to finish her round.
And remember, a moment ago, it was Twitty who put herself in a better position than perhaps she imagined coming off the edge of that bunker.
All the players are now on the back 9. Leonie Harm of Houston has a 2-shot lead for the individual title. Elizabeth Moon is 2 back at -5. Harm is 7 under, and Dorothea Forbridge is 4 back at -3. So a lot of things can change on the back 9, but right now, Leona Harm, who's had such a brilliant spring with great excitement, leading the individual race right now.
Yeah, Harm and Moon of UCF have been paired together today, tied for first much of the way. A little bit of separation for Harm as they get close to 18. And Lauren's putt on the money.
Very nice putt for the SMU Mustang.
Again, you can go back and look at her scorecard over the past few days via the American Championship Central, theamerican.org. Go to the championship webpage, or just as easily, you can find the link on social media. And a nice finish for both of our athletes, Chappell and Twitty here, as that puts an end to the experience for the Mustangs and Bulls here over these 3 days at Hammock Beach Resort.
Twitty with a really nice birdie to end her year. Really, really nice.
So back to Victoria Gallegos, who has been waiting for a little while here for her second shot.
Victoria's got the 3-wood out. Looks like she's going to take it as far down the right side as she can. Very aggressive swing by Victoria. Yells out, go, go, go. And it's beautifully done. What a nice shot that is. Right in front of the green. Going to be a difficult chip, but she hit that ball a long, long way. Another one of the young stars from Mexico as they continue to produce quality college golfers.
Memphis, the 5 seed this week, ranked by GolfStat coming into the weekend at 65th in the country. Head coach Beth Walthall Harrelson, a decade at the helm of the Tigers. Played both volleyball and golf back in her day as a student at Memphis. Always a special experience to coach at your alma mater. She's assisted by Sally Andrew. As here you see, again, Madison Thomas came into today a +9 for the week, tied for 31st.
Boy, Madison's got a good game. She was everything in high school at Shelbyville, Kentucky. She was a golfer of the year when I believe she was 12 or 13 years old. So she is a veteran golfer.
She's climbed 8 spots today. It's been a strong final day for Thomas, +9 now. And she's another one who really had a strong showing yesterday at par. She had an 81 on Sunday. Yesterday bounced back with that 72, one of the better scores on the day.
This is Kate Law, the young Australian golfer, who's a heck of a long way from home, but she really has game. She's a senior playing her last hole for East Carolina. Really gets through the ball well.
It's been pretty consistent. A 76 on Sunday, a 78 yesterday. Right now in the top 40. As you see that one just clinging to the edge to stay dry. So Tigers and Pirates officially taking over here on the 18th hole. Gallegos. Pardon me. Yadawara.
Had to take it over the edge of the water.
And that one will have some sand to contend with.
It's difficult on this 18th hole because it's rolling terrain. There's not many even lies. If you get it slightly to the edges of the fairway, and can be very difficult for these golfers with their lies. We saw Jacqueline Twitty have success out of that sand trap, but just a little sand trap to protect the golfers from going in the water, but pretty difficult shot.
Again, big picture right now, Memphis as a team is sitting in 3rd. They're 4 strokes back of UCF, who's in 2nd. Memphis paired with ECU today. Memphis has improved a stroke. They're playing even now for the week. ECU is a +3 now for these 2+ days in Florida. Tulsa's having a nice day collectively, 1 stroke under par when they completed their 3rd day. They'll finish likely in 7th. As Gallegos now will join her ball up at the green. Yadawara moments ago found herself in the bunker. And ECU sitting in 4th right now, 2 strokes back of the Tigers with whom they are paired. As Grace will tidy up. Kevin Williams, her head coach. Pirates came in, your 3 seed, ranked 55th in the country by GolfStat. Coach Williams, a former Pirate in his own right. Had a nice run of 8 NCAA tournaments with this program over a decade. They had that second place finish as a group in 2016. Their best finish so far in the American. Of course, we'll see Dorothea Forbridge, the anchor of this Pirate group, a little bit later on. Last year we saw her in the playoff with Taryn Torgerson, the outgoing senior for Wichita State. But again, great to have you with us on this Tuesday. Perfect conditions for championship golf. Lincoln Rose along with Ed Clements. And of course, we'll be back in the Sunshine State next Tuesday for the men's championship. But we're not eager to rush through this one. Still some great golf to be consumed here over the next couple of hours, as Gallegos has a chance to send this one home.
It's some really good shots, and I know she wanted that to go down, but it just does not. But she gets some applause from the fans around the 18th.
As Victoria and Grace will now cheer on the next 4 pairings. You are looking at Kate Law. Again, her ball just able to avoid.
Get it out of the water. Looked like a little bit of water. As she found it and hit it. And just a nice blast out.
You see, she saved the shoes and avoided crocodiles.
Kate Law's another one of those young golfers who's been around the world, an accomplished player in Australia, and played on different golf courses in her life. Now she's doing a little cleanup after blasting out.
That's the Pirate life summed up right there.
Oh, nice job.
Some feathered spectators also impressed. As that a moment ago. And she's paired with Madison Thomas, who's a little bit drier.
Three medal, and you can hear the wind as the wind is at the golfer's back right now. A very aggressive swing. I don't think she liked it that much as she pushed it to the right, but she will leave herself a chip shot, Lincoln, for her third shot in trying to birdie this final hole of the tournament.
Thomas this year's averaged about a 74.5 stroke, showing each time on the course. And assistant coach for the Tigers, Mary Catherine Donovan.
Memphis fighting for the third spot in the conference. Houston still number 1. UCF number 2. Memphis at number 3 right now. They've gained a stroke today. And neck and neck between Memphis and East Carolina.
Carly Cox has climbed in the top 20 today. Came into today a +8 for the first 2 rounds. Tied for 24th. She's a +7 now, including 1 under today. 75 on Sunday. Yesterday a 77. And right in the fairway. Cox with a couple of birdies here on the back 9 for a strong finish, perhaps. Yeah, she's paired today with Sydney Caldwell. Came into today tied for 31st with a +9.
Caldwell's from Tucson, Arizona. A couple of years ago, Sydney was second in the Tennessee Women's Amateur. So a very accomplished golfer. Beautiful drive right down the middle.
She's played even today, which has helped her shoot up the standings. 8 spots, tied for 23rd right now. And now that those socks have dried off a little bit.
Third shot. Well, she can talk to her parents tonight and say, I had an interesting final hole here at the conference championship. You won't believe where my second shot was.
And Thomas and Law paired together. Colwell and Cox off in the distance after their tee shots. After these Tigers and Pirates all come through, it's down to the top 2 teams this week. As expected, former champions UCF and Houston colliding in the final day pairing. Leonie Harm and Elizabeth Moon both in contention for those individual titles. A familiar name from last year, though, for these Pirates we'll see soon enough with Dorothea Forbridge, as she really surged earlier today.
Yeah, she had a great first 9, 4 under in the front 9 today.
She and, unfortunately for her, Leonie Harm both a 4 under today. So that has mitigated how much progress Forbridge can make. As much as we want to talk about Leonie Harm, obviously she's being pushed by some of her own teammates as well.
You know, this is all about their preparations for the regional tournament, because they'll be going to a regional as they did last year, and I think they're looking for big things. Again, Houston has a history of great men's golf. Some of the biggest names in golf. Fred Couples was a member of the Cougar golf team. The great Jim Nance from CBS Sports, a Cougar, as they have had a great history. Formerly in the Southwest Conference, dominated with a legendary coach, Dave Williams, and they were in many battles with the Texas Longhorns in the old Southwest Conference. But the Houston Cougars have always been excellent in golf. And now the ladies' golf team, the women's golf team, doing the same, looking for their second conference championship in a row.
Yeah, this conference as a whole, both on the women's and men's side, so fun to track. And great to have everybody with us here today on the American Digital Network. Temperatures in the mid-70s. A nice wind.
It's got to be an emotional time for Madison Thomas from Shelbyville, Kentucky. As I said earlier, she won just about every tournament as a junior. This is her final hole as a Memphis Tiger. She's a senior. It's got to go towards a hole. Good shot. Really, really good shot by Madison Thomas.
She jogs up on the green to give it a little extra encouragement.
It's all about where you put this ball, and Madison did a wonderful job of judging, because that is a big hump right in the middle of the green. The pin is in the back, so she did a wonderful job.
A little bit earlier, we saw the Bulls and the Mustangs of USF and SMU wrap up their championship. At the moment, it looks like the Bulls will finish 5th, SMU just outside the top 5 and 6th. Houston, at the moment, 27 strokes better than UCF, and a battle for the title. Memphis with a chance, potentially, to overtake the Knights, depending on how these final few Tigers finish.
That's a ball of Sydney Colwell of Memphis. Really nice second shot. Both young ladies have great placement on their shots. Sydney Colwell and Carly Cox of East Carolina. Looks like Kate Law is going to go first. She has had an adventure on this 18th. Tee shot was in a little bit of water, and a little bit of mud, and she blasted out and hit her third shot in the bunker, her fourth shot right here. And this is for a very adventurous par. Oh, man, you hate to see that after all her hard work.
Hopefully we'll be able to tap it in. As Kate Law wraps things up. Still have 3 more Pirates to conclude here on this green. 4 Tigers, including Madison Thomas.
Nice putt.
Yeah, nice job by both of them. Finish under their own terms right there. Well, the 4th Pirate to tee off now here on 18. Catherine Carson came into today tied for 12th. +3. One of the bright spots for the Pirates this year.
Catherine's just a sophomore from Mooresville, North Carolina. Nice tee shot. Took it close to the left side, which will make it a shorter shot towards the green. We've seen a couple of the golfers today go for it, some with some success, others ending up in the trap just to the left side of the green. But with the wind to their back this afternoon, you see that blowing pretty good right now, Lincoln. It gives them the opportunity to say, I'm going to go for the green, go to the go-go on this second shot.
Yeah, that wind right now challenging them, pushing right back as they try to muscle it through.
Catherine with a round of 72 and 75. And today she's 3 over par for a total of 6 under par for the tournament.
Yeah, it was par on Sunday, as you noted now. Back-to-back days, +3. As we get back to Sydney Colwell of Memphis. Paired with Carly Cox. Colwell's been a mover today into the top 25. Even despite a double bogey back on 16.
Just a little long. She did not try to hit that high because of the wind. It took a little bit of a hop. But she's in really good shape. She's in good shape to make that putt or at least get her 5.
Able to birdie 2, 3, and 5 on the front 9 and add another birdie on 14 today.
And she's the former, as I said, Tennessee women's amateur champ. Anytime you win a statewide amateur, Link, you know you got some game, and she has some game.
Colwell on 18 each of the first 2 days. Able to par the final hole. Again, a par 5. As our Tigers and Pirates approach the green. And that wind has picked up.
Boy, you can hear it, can't you? Carly Cox just has to hit it slightly on the green and let it fall to the green. You can't hit it right at the cup. Well, got a nice little hop. Not what she wanted, but still a makeable putt.
Again, a reminder for those of you following us on the American Digital Network Plus Facebook page, in the comments section, you can find the direct link to our live stats for both the team and individual leaderboards. Track how your favorite golfers have performed over the past 3 days, including the ones we're watching here on 18. Lincoln Rose along with Ed Clements. Great to have you with us. Of course, Haley Outen. We'll have a chance to check in with her a few more times before she's interviewing champions at the end of today with some hardware to give out.
Sydney's looking for a birdie putt here on the final hole from Memphis. It's going to be a little left to righter. The ball's going to fall towards the water here at the conservatory. Everything will move a little bit that way. Just a little too far. Played too much break in that. But she will tap in for her par.
For a third straight day, able to tap it in on her fifth. So she finishes with the par. Carly Cox will try to send this one home.
Got the right edge. Unfortunate way to end her tournament.
Birdied 18 yesterday. Wraps things up now here on her third and final day. So 3 Tigers and 3 Pirates now in the books. They'll go sign their scorecards. Catherine Carson again for ECU, paired with Anna Dawson of Memphis. As we still have not introduced you to Dorothea Forbridge and Michaela Fletcher for these 2 programs.
Good position on her drive. Let's see if she has enough to get it to the green. As she is attempting, she's trying. Oh, can't tell, but it looks like.
Yeah, I think that one's going to be wet.
Man. Unfortunate. But final hole of the tournament.
Another look.
Yeah, right there.
That's going to require more than just taking your shoes and socks off. Again, Anna Dawson came into today a +2, tied for 8th. Currently sitting in 10th. Had identical 73s first 2 days, and that one will get a little wet. Might still be something that she can work with.
Anna Dawson is from the Isle of Man. Do you know where the Isle of Man is?
I failed to do my homework, and I'm waiting for the punchline.
The Isle of Man is an island between Great Britain and Ireland. It's an island, a rugged little Ireland. The Isle of Man. Just want to give you a little of that geography there.
Yeah, Anna Dawson, the freshman from the aforementioned Isle of Man, is now onto the green.
And that's going to be the 4th shot.
Final Tiger to come through, the 5th-year senior, Michaela Fletcher. The South African this year has been playing a little under par in her final campaign. A 71.9 average this year, has anchored this program. In fact, won Memphis's tournament that they hosted in their last event before the championship here in Florida. Only Tiger to ever qualify for multiple NCAA regionals. What a tenure it has been for her in Tennessee.
Yeah, really, really nice career. Fine golfers from South Africa on both the LPGA and on the men's tour.
Memphis came into this week, again, ranked 65th by GolfStat. Their goal has been, again, to break into that top 50.
And our first look at Dorothea Forbridge, too, who's approached the 18th tee box right now. Wonderful golfer from Norway.
Yeah, she and Fletcher both looking for top 10 showings, and Forbridge has climbed her way into a perhaps top 3 finish. Leonie Harm still 2 strokes better than Moon. Forbridge 4 strokes back at the leader, as both Harm and Forbridge 4 under so far today. And Anna Dawson. Her first look after her tee shot.
Gotta sit. Blustery conditions. As you could see behind her when she had all the foliage really blowing in here at the green. Not as much wind. It's going to be a difficult downhill chip.
Tee shot for Fletcher. Really at no fault of her own, playing even today, has dropped a couple of spots, tied for 7th right now. 3 birdies on the back 9, but a bogey on 17.
Really is a nice move through that ball. Really great motion.
He birdied 18 this hole 2 days ago. Yesterday, a par 5.
That's a big drive, too. Very big drive for her. Our first look at Dorothea Forbridge, who's played 3 under today. Excuse me, 4 under today, so she's been even par on this back 9.
And she's one of the reasons why Fletcher has actually slipped a couple of spots at even, as Forbridge today has been playing as well as anybody. Again, she was 1 over on Sunday. Yesterday, an even 72. And Dorothea Forbridge has officially made her way to 18.
Really nice drive side by side. The accomplished golfer. Dorothea, of course, from Oslo, Norway, the conference runner-up last year. It's been a good month for Norwegian golfers. Victor Hovland of Oklahoma State was a low amateur last week at the Masters. Accomplished player from Norway.
And you mentioned Forbridge, the junior who last year as a sophomore narrowly lost out on the playoff with Torgerson for the individual hardware.
And Torgerson went wild last year. I believe she was 8 under par for her final day. Lincoln last year, she had a great round of golf.
What a debut / swan song for her in the American, as Wichita State was in its first year as a member of the conference.
Yeah.
Teams wrapping up here on this final day. After the Pirates and Tigers, we'll be down to our last 2 teams. UCF Knights are hosts from 80 miles up the road in Orlando, and the Houston Cougars, who appear to have their 3rd ever championship just about locked up.
Now this is going to be an interesting putt for Catherine Carson. This is going to be difficult to say the least, as it's all about the speed in this putt, Lincoln, because it's going to be breaking from right to left as we see it, but it's all about the speed on this putt, because if she can maneuver to get it over the hump and just ease it down to the hole, this thing can really get away from you if she hits it too aggressively. And I think that's what we saw her in her second shot, hit it in the water quite aggressively. So, but the Memphis Tiger is going to play first. Anna Dawson from the Isle of Man.
Yeah, Dawson, one of 2 freshmen. This is a lineup of opposites. 3 seniors, 2 freshmen for Memphis this week. This is after they only lost the 1 senior, Emily Goldenstein from last year. And a couple of freshmen have really stepped up to try to fill that void.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot.
She's frustrated with it, but you step back, you can really appreciate what she was able to do right there.
I think she's still frustrated about that second shot in the water. I think that's where the frustration comes. But nothing, this is a beautiful shot. Take your time, mark it, and you can walk away. Take a deep breath. Now this is the putt, the interesting putt to me.
Yeah, back to the sophomore from North Carolina. Again, ECU does such a great job recruiting within the state. You do have 3 North Carolinians among the 5 today, along with an Australian and Norwegian.
Let the fun begin now with this breaking putt. Wow.
Carson with the putt, the youngest of the 5 Pirates competing today.
Nicely done. Very, very nicely done.
Remember, both of them had a rough start here on 18.
Tom Watson built this golf course, and this has hints of a Scottish-type green. I think many times in Scotland, Lincoln, there would be this would be a double green. You could make this a double green because it's so huge, but with the different undulations and the big hump, really interesting green designed by Tom Watson, who won 5 times, I believe, at the British Open, who has a big love affair with links-type golf. And there are elements of that here on this golf course.
Slightly different vegetation surrounding.
And animals, too.
Yeah. Carson looking to close things out here on 18. Looking to hang on for a top 15 showing this week here in Florida. As Sydney able to tap it home. Or pardon me, Anna Dawson able to wrap things up.
Frustrating bogey for her on the final hole, but when you hit it in the water in the second shot, bad things are going to happen.
Alyssa and Amanda will have to wait just a moment before they become our first Knights and Cougars.
Forbridge's second shot is underway. Using an iron just for position. Did not want to risk the water to the left. As Dorothea, what a wonderful golfer.
Dorothea with 4 birdies on the front 9. What a start to her day to put everybody else on notice as she shot quickly up into the championship conversation. A pair of birdies mitigated by a pair of bogeys here on the back 9. A bogey on 17 just a moment ago. But on day 1, a par here on 18. And again yesterday. But Forbridge at the moment among your top 3. And, of course, anchoring this Pirates group as a junior now.
Michaela Fletcher is an interesting player. She's even par today. As you said, Lincoln, she's from South Africa. She played in the NCAA finals in her freshman year. And an accomplished golfer. And she's trying to move up the leaderboard here. Currently in 7th place for the player leaderboard, individual leaderboard here. At the American Women's Championship.
Yeah, that brilliant freshman campaign. Unfortunately, would miss her sophomore year with that back injury, but was able to get back to the NCAA tournament. Mentioned only this first ever Tiger to go to multiple NCAA regionals. She'll be one of 3 seniors that the Tigers have to replace this offseason.
Oh, kick it. So I don't need to move this?
As Amanda Ellich gets us started with the Houston Cougars. She's paired with Alyssa Lamoureux today.
You don't want to go left. You do not want to go left on this hole because of the water and all the, I call it gunch over there. That's a beautiful, beautiful shot.
Nice start for the Oregon native. Not ready to focus entirely on Cougars and Knights just yet. As we still have a Tiger and a Pirate closing in on the green.
This will be Dorothea's shot. As she's a junior, she'll be back next year. Again, from Oslo, Norway. And boy, the Scandinavian countries are producing some wonderful golfers. Denmark, Sweden, and now Norway coming into the mix on the LPGA Tour and on the regular PGA Tour. And there are a lot of Scandinavians on the European golf tours. Not going to be more than about a pitching wedge, but the wind is the factor here. Does she flight her ball low or does she take it high? I would better bet she would take it somewhat low, Lincoln, to try to keep it out of that wind, the blustery wind.
And Forbridge is a 3-under, 4 strokes back of your leader Harm, sitting in 3rd place right now.
Yeah, the wind got it just a bit over there. Not in a bad position. We'll have about a 25-foot putt for birdie.
She hopes Harm will have a couple of miscues to tighten that. But at the moment, it looks like just Harm's counterpart, Elizabeth Moon of UCF, will challenge her for that title. Again, our final Memphis Tiger is Michaela Fletcher here.
Yeah, she's trying to figure out where she wants to land this ball because of the wind and because of the big mound right there. Trying to figure this thing out with one of her coaches. Best way she can do this. As again, it's all about the touch in this thing. She walked all the way to the green to look at this thing as she goes back to her ball. A lot of theories on this. Some say let's take the ball low, let the ball run. But I think if you let the ball run, it's going to be very difficult to stop the ball as it comes over that. Might want to see something that lands right on the top of the mound and trickles down to the hole. I think that's her strategy. Looks like she has a lofted club, a 56 degree or a 60 degree. Again, just to hit it on the top of the mound and let it go down towards the hole. It'll go from her right to left over that mound. Beautiful position on her second shot, though.
Four Tigers already in the clubhouse. Michaela Fletcher will join them soon enough.
Boy, she takes it really high. It's very difficult to stop there, Lincoln. As we said, she played it too close to the hole. You got to let it trickle down. Yep. Very aggressive play.
It dropped in just short. And then continued to find its way to the edge. As Forbridge with a chance to find punctuation on a masterful day today.
Yeah, currently in third place, 2 back of Moon and 4 back of Leona Harm. She would love to get this putt to go down to put some pressure on the 2 players in front of her. To say the least, she would love to get this. Going to take the flag out, I believe. Well, maybe not. She's just looking at this putt right on the fringe.
Again, Forbridge all 3 days has birdied 17. And each of the past 2 days a par here on 18 for some strong finishes. As we'll have a judge come out.
Yeah, Michaela Fletcher wants a ruling on this. I believe that may be considered, ground under repair, as she will be able to drop that ball 1 club length no closer to the hole. So what she'll do, she'll get the driver out and she's going to find some green grass to put that baby on. And that's quick thinking by her coach and the player, Michaela, to say, hey, I need a drop, I deserve a drop, and she has been awarded a drop.
Last year's runner-up in the playoff. Dorothea Forbridge, now a junior.
Oh!
Could it have ended any other way? What a day, what a week for the junior Pirate.
That is an absolutely beautiful birdie by Dorothea. Breaking left to right and just had enough.
With that, she keeps the pressure on. The only 2 women ahead of her here in Florida. That's going to, I believe, bring her to a 4 under over these 3 days. Including 5 under today.
Here's a young South African after the drop. She'd love to chip this thing in for a birdie to end this day. Just a little short, but still a nice shot for Michaela Fletcher from the RSA.
Fletcher's going to have a top 10 showing here in Florida.
Every putt is important in the team standings in this thing, and things can flip very, very quickly. As Michaela Fletcher of Memphis tries to clean up with this par putt on number 18.
Yeah, Memphis still with a chance perhaps to finish with a runner-up showing. Couple strokes back of UCF, with only now Cougars and Knights remaining.
All right, let's get you on camera. I'll pitch to you.
So for the Cougars, Hannah Screen coming up at the tee box. Let's check back in with Haley Outen.
As Houston looks to claim its 3rd American Conference championship, they have a substantial lead as players start to make their way into 18. And when I talked to head coach Garrett Chadwell yesterday, he told me this was supposed to be a quote-unquote rebuilding year for the Cougars after losing 3 key seniors last year. But he told me that this might be the best team he's coached yet at Houston, and that could be attributed to some of the young faces just keeping it young and fresh and exciting out here on the course.
Haley, thank you. Obviously, great news for the Cougars, not so great news for the rest of the conference as everybody continues to elevate their game. Cougars not going anywhere. This year they're doing it with 2 freshmen in this lineup, including Hannah Screen, the British talent. So Ellich and Lamoureux for Houston and UCF lead the way on to 18. Just saw Hannah Screen as well. She's paired with Kobayashi of UCF.
Third shot just a bit long. See a lot of players go over the screen. It's because of the wind and because of the mound, but she just hit that just a little bit hard for her third shot.
Again, Screen and Kobayashi. The Cougars and Knights paired together. Hannah was tied for 8th. You know, Cougars, nobody's going to feel sorry for them, but they are at a point playing so well that they're not necessarily paired with someone who is experiencing a similar push.
Yeah.
So you have to have enough self-motivation.
Well, it's just like Tiger Woods did Sunday at Augusta. You got to prod your way on the golf course, and you have to take advantage. But there was nothing imperative for Houston today to play solid golf, which they have done. Kobayashi on the tee, the young lady from Japan, very good talent, hits it a long, long way. Again, I'm amazed by all this power from these slightly built young college golfers, but they can really get through the ball.
She had a 74 on Sunday, yesterday a 79.
That's a beautiful drive.
Yeah, has to be pleased with that.
Yeah.
She struggled here on 18 yesterday. A double bogey after even par on 18 back on Sunday. See if she can have a strong finish here.
On the green, Amanda Ellich from West Linn, Oregon. I wonder how she got away from the West Coast, Lincoln, because there are some quality teams in the Pac-10 conference. But she's found her way to Houston and found her way on a team that's going to win their second conference championship in a row.
Yeah, credit to her head coach, Garrett Chadwell, for selling the program to her. Now the junior out of Oregon. Of course, Coach Chadwell started this program for Houston just 6 years ago, coinciding with the American being formed. Go on to be head coach of the year back in 2016. Consistently making it to the NCAAs now.
And I do think it's a plus for Houston. Coach Chadwell's wife is the great Stacy Lewis, the tour player, and I'm sure the Houston Cougar golfers just absorb everything she says about life on the golf course and off the golf course. It's got to be a great role model. But Coach Chadwell has done a marvelous job, formerly at Oklahoma, and now with this program. And I really believe, Lincoln, this Houston program will be really, really on the big map very soon. They're on the map now, but they can compete for top tens.
Cougars ranked 34th coming into these final 3 days by GolfStat. Again, they've never finished worse than third here in the conference championship.
Just a little chunky there. It happens to everybody. And with the pin that close to the end of the green, you try to get a little cozy, and it didn't work out.
At the moment, the Cougars can afford it.
Yeah, they can. Not the way you want to end around, but again, that happens.
Houston's qualified for the NCAA Regional with a player every year in which the team's been eligible. And that should continue this year. Second effort.
Nice chip.
Houston losing 3 seniors from last year. You heard Haley Outen, of course, reminding us this was supposed to be a rebuilding year, as mentioned by Coach Chadwell. After Megan, Courtney, and Allie all graduated, after being all conference last season.
Now this is Lamoureux from UCF, and she's only a freshman. So, boy, she's got a bright future in front of her, as she has a difficult little chip, and again, need to get barely on the green and let it fall down to the cup.
One of 2 freshmen in the lineup today for UCF. Of course, her classmate Elizabeth Moon has had a brilliant debut, and how about that one just off the edge?
Got to be pleased with that one. Played that very, very well. Nice way for her to end her first conference championship.
Your 1 Floridian for this night's squad. So close.
Mm-hmm.
As the Leesburg, Florida native wraps up her first ever American Championship experience.
And she's limping over there, I'm sure, with the 3 days and just having a tough time finishing this hole, but a nice par.
Of course, Lamoureux's paired with Amanda Ellich.
Ellich with the putt, not the way she wanted to end it, but again, as you said, Link, this team is in control of everything here at the American Women's Championship at the Conservatory course. Par 72, 6,276 yards. We're watching the par 5 18th, playing today about 503 yards for the ladies.
Well, we mentioned, of course, Kobayashi from Japan, but she did come to the States here in Florida, went to IMG Academy, and which, of course, we see so many great talents coming out of for a variety of sports there in Bradenton. And as she approaches for her next stroke, let's check back in with Haley.
Yeah, you guys mentioned Garrett Chadwell's wife, Stacy Lewis, who is on the LPGA Tour. And Garrett and Stacy, they actually became parents in October to a little baby girl named Chesney Lynn. And Garrett actually takes credit for coming up with the name. They were on the way to a tournament in Clemson, and they saw a sign for Chesney, South Carolina. So he kind of kept that name in his back pocket. But baby Chesney Lynn is on tour with Stacy, and actually on the LPGA Tour, they provide about 9 hours of childcare per day. So the baby's able to stay with Stacy on the road, and Garrett sneaks in to visit baby and wife as much as he can.
And that, again, is their first child, so congratulations to both Garrett and Stacy.
Nice shot by Kobayashi, as she's very handy around the green, as we have another member of the UCF golf team, Maria Balcazar, of Mexico. She was, I believe, was she freshman of the year when she was a freshman, Lincoln?
And she's had quite the debut, as Balcazar, 2 years ago, freshman of the year, missed most of last year with an injury, but has bounced back to be right in the middle of this rotation for UCF.
And she likes to put the pedal to the metal, as we just saw.
It's a confident swing.
It is a very confident swing. Yeah, that's in really good position, and she can. I think she'll make a go of it trying to get to the hole. First view of Maddie Rayner of the Cougars from South Lake Carroll High School in the Dallas area. Has had the lowest score in this tournament. Had a 68 yesterday.
Yeah, she was the only golfer for any of our 10 programs yesterday, multiple strokes under par. And it was a commanding 4 under showing, as Rayner now has officially arrived here on 18.
Maddie needs a birdie to tie Dorothea Forbridge of East Carolina. And she hit that a long, long way.
And 1 stroke back of third place. Couple strokes better than Jennifer Rosenberg of Tulane, who has wrapped up right now, sitting in top 5. Again, we don't get to see the green wave today. They wrapped up on the other half of the course. But Jennifer Rosenberg, certainly a bright spot this week For Wichita State, Lane Evans, at the moment, a top 12 showing, also has concluded. As there will be a few very talented golfers we don't see today, but Houston and UCF, your top 2 programs this week, as they are both being anchored by your top 2 individuals. Elizabeth Moon, the freshman for UCF, sits in second, 1 stroke back of Leonie Harm. They came into today tied for first. Harm would take as many as a 2-stroke advantage, but Moon has a chance here to possibly force yet another playoff this year. But that'll have to wait, at least for the moment, as we continue to see their teammates make their way to the green. As Hannah Screen and Janatsu Kobayashi.
Kobayashi has an eagle putt. This may be one of the first eagle putts we've seen today with the wind at the back most of the time on this 18th hole. It's blustery. But Kobayashi from Japan.
Mentioned she had a rude introduction to this 18th hole yesterday with the double bogey.
Yeah, Lincoln, this is fixing to get exciting with Leona Harm and Elizabeth Moon. Only 1 shot separating them as they play the final few holes here at the Conservatory. Again, Houston's going to win the team championship, but you know both of these young ladies would love to be the medalists for their conference. Kobayashi looking over this long putt. It's very difficult for young golfers in Japan because there are not enough golf courses. And as you said, she came to Florida to the IMG Academy. As you see, many young players from Japan to do that because they don't have enough golf courses for the population there.
You can put ski slopes inside a mall, but somehow can't squeeze in 18 holes.
Yeah.
Kobayashi seeking the pin.
Oh, that was an eagle putt.
Yeah, well-deserved smile, though, there for Kobayashi.
Nice way to end the tournament.
How about this run?
Beautiful pace on the ball. Just over the big mound. Well played.
See her trying to encourage the wind to help her out a bit.
Hannah Screen from England. She was on the English national girls team. Accomplished player from Great Britain. Does it have enough? No.
At our second night and second Cougar now. Wrapping things up on 18.
Well, watch out for Screen in the coming years, though. With her credentials back in her homeland and the way she's been playing this year with an excellent program on the rise. Watch out for Hannah Screen.
Back to Maria Balcazar, who came into today among the top 25 golfers.
You got to believe Balcazar is going to go for the green. Got to believe she's going to do that, trying to decide if she's not going to go for the green, where to put it towards the right side of the green.
She started today top 25. Right now she's top 15. She has climbed 10 spots today, thanks in part to 4 birdies, 2 on the front 9, 2 here on the back.
It's an aggressive swing. He's leaning towards the left. That means it's usually going to the right, and it is, but she's on the green. But it's going to kick now off the green. Whoa, ball, whoa. That was a very aggressive and not a bad shot. The wind got that shot a bit.
Sunday bogey here on 18. Yesterday, par 5.
I like the way she plays. I like that aggressive style. And she did it there.
Remember, UCF still feeling a little pressure from Memphis, who's now in the clubhouse. As UCF just a stroke better than the Tigers for second place.
It's Maddie Rayner's shot, her second shot on the 18th.
Maria Jose Martinez tied with Rayner coming into today at 2 under. That was good for a third place tie to start on the day. They've both slipped just because of what the ECU Pirate Forbridge has been able to do.
Yeah, Forbridge finished strong. We saw her make a birdie on the final hole. And really good final performance by her.
Maria right now tied for 6th with her teammate Hannah Screen. Maria shot a 2 under on Sunday. Yesterday, 72 for par.
She really liked it. That was a quick pickup of the OT, and that's on the right side of the fairway in excellent shape for a second shot here to number 18.
Yeah, great look for the freshman from Alvarado, Mexico.
They're having fun out here this afternoon because they really got this team championship on day number 2 by distancing themselves. Anna Laura now Collado on the box. Really good drive again.
Sophomore, one of the 2 Mexicans in the 5 for the Knights this week. Just a sophomore.
I am amazed at the talent on with the college level consistently. All these teams with the American Conference have excellent players. And I'm also amazed, Lincoln, about the recruiting that the coaches do worldwide. It is amazing. We've seen players from Norway, several from Mexico, Colombia, England, Wales, the Isle of Man, which you now know where is, my friend. Just an amazing worldwide game this golf is.
Now, how does Brexit affect the Isle of Man?
It is under the rule of the Isle of Man.
Got it.
I believe. It's not an independent island. It's linked with Great Britain. And I don't know if they even have a golf. I guess they have a golf course there. Or she wouldn't be such a great player from the Isle of Man.
Again, Cougars and Knights are top 2 teams at the moment. Cougars have locked up the 3rd championship in their tenure as a team. 2nd straight year. A group that you knew what you're going to have out of Leonie Harm, but the rest of her teammates have really elevated their game as well. Right now, Maddie Rayner on the edge of that bunker.
Trying to decide who's out right now. And I believe it's going to be Balcazar is going to be out. And this is her chip for Eagle.
Let's check in with Haley.
Yeah, Lincoln, as UCF continues to wrap this championship up, Elizabeth Moon still in contention, just 1 stroke behind Harm, heading into 18. But Elizabeth Moon, a very interesting player, just a freshman. And when you see her coming into 18, you're going to notice that she has tape on her right wrist. And it's been an injury that she's actually been battling for a couple of months due to just too much practice and overuse. She was practicing about 6 to 7 hours per day. And Coach Emily Marin had to make her cut that back to less than half of the time. So Elizabeth said she's really focused on the quality of her practice now and not so much the quantity of her practice.
Young perfectionist, sounds like a familiar story with some of our greats.
Mm-hmm. Play and play and play. Maddie Rayner now with this bunker shot. She just needs to get right on the green and let it flow down to the hole. She'll play it to the right of the pin. You see how it breaks there. Not what she wanted, but still a very, very makeable birdie putt for the Houston Cougar. Power is a good thing to have, Lincoln, on this. We've just seen from both of these players, with Balcazar and Maddie Rayner getting their second shots around the green. And both have really, really great chances at birdie.
So again, from Rayner to her counterpart with Balcazar. Now a junior, 2 years after picking up those Freshman of the Year honors here in the American. And last year sat out with injury much of the campaign. Did not get to see her here on the conservatory course at Hammock Beach Resort. Third straight year we've been on this side of the peninsula.
And I think it's really good for the golfers because a lot of conferences go to a different course every year, and there's questions about not knowledgeable of the course, and the weather here is always consistent. Well, most of the time it is, but there's something very, very nice to come back to a place that you know and you played before.
Again, Rayner coming off that brilliant showing yesterday. Haley had a chance to catch up with her, as we heard at the start of the broadcast. After that 4-under performance today, it's her teammate Harm 4-under, 7-under for the championships 3 days. We'll see Leone come through, looking for a strong finish to hold off the freshman Moon, who's just one stroke back.
Rayner looking for a birdie, and their season is far from over as they will be preparing for the regional tournament. Don't know where they're going to be, but they may make some noise in the regionals. Nicely done by Maddie Rayner. Birdie on the final hole for the Houston Cougars.
That's a great way to go out before the postseason. Balcazar. Again, UCF, a former two-time champion in their own right as a team. 2015, 2017, they were hoping that that trend would continue on odd years. Also a two-time runner-up as they have continued to be an elite program.
Nice birdie by Balcazar. And by the way, Rayner's birdie for Houston has tied her with Dorothea Forbridge for third place. So that was a huge putt for Maddie Rayner for her birdie, as now tied for third place. As Leone Harm is at 7, Elizabeth Moon at 6, Forbridge and Rayner finish at 4.
So they will split the bronze. That has Jennifer Rosenberg of Tulane firmly in 5th. Hannah Screen was threatening her, as is Maria Jose Martinez.
Shot for position. Position plus.
So Leone Harm, our leader.
Well, that was a great shot. Great shot.
Maria Jose Martinez, teammate, again came in today tied for 3rd. Right now tied for 6th. 2 over today. And her counterpart, Ana Laura Collado, for the Knights.
Another one of those fine players from Mexico. Big, big drive. She has a utility, and she'd love to be on the green, but she'd love to be in position for that third shot. Wind at her back.
See, that wind has picked back up. Our final Cougar to tee things off here at the 2019 championship. And you talk about the defending player of the year, Leonie Harm, living up to expectations in her final collegiate campaign. Shared medalist honors at the All-State Sugar Bowl Intercollegiate Championship back in February, as well as at the Clover Cup in March. First Cougar to win multiple tournament titles in one season. And of course, Ed, as you noted, competed at the inaugural Women's National Amateur earlier this month.
Yeah, that's a great honor for her. She got to play Augusta National. She didn't make the cut, but she played at Augusta National. Here's Elizabeth Moon now, who's one shot behind Leonie Harm entering this final hole for the medalist honors.
And for one final time, we'll refer to Elizabeth Moon as a freshman.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
But still potential to call her a champion.
Boy, that's a big, beautiful drive. Big, beautiful drive. Takes a big hop over one of the humps, and she is going to be in excellent shape to go for this hole in two. It's now match play, Lincoln, because she will watch what Leonie Harm does for Houston. Leonie's drive was shorter, a little bit to the right on the right side of the fairway, and you got to believe, depending on what Leonie does, will dictate what she does on her second shot. Again, Leonie Harm, who won the British Ladies Amateur this past summer, has the one-shot lead. And the story of Leonie Harm we've talked about many times, near death after run over by a car back in Germany as a 15-year-old. And to do what she's doing on the golf course and in life is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, well, she was in a coma. Again, the doctor said there was no hope. Fortunately, proved to be wrong. We're just privy to this 18th hole, but you imagine no two golfers today have been pushing one another more than Harm and Moon, the Cougar and Knight.
Yeah, it's always that great to have a pairing like that where they're going to push each other and you know exactly what your leading competitor is doing. Yep. And they've seen each other for 17 holes now on the 18th hole.
At the moment, their teammates Maria Jose Martinez for Houston and Ana Laura Collado for the Knights hanging around the green.
This is her eagle chip for Ana Laura. Beautiful second shot. Beautiful placement. She'd love to get something close on this one.
Read it pretty well.
Nicely done. Nicely done by Ana Maria, the sophomore from Mexico.
So you see Collado's ball there. And Maria Jose Martinez.
And you see Garrett Chadwell working really hard, the head coach walking back and forth between his top two players right now.
Well, he knows he's going to have at least one trophy going back to Houston. He's going to go back and rejoin Harm in a moment to try to help her secure an individual title.
It's an eagle putt for Maria Jose Martinez. Pace, pace, pace on this putt.
And Martinez is tied for 6th at the moment, even for the week. See if this one will take a stroll.
Oh, that's nicely done. That is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful pace on that putt, Lincoln.
You hear the growing gallery as right now there are only 4 athletes still playing golf here in the American.
Look at that mound she had to hit over. Beautiful, beautiful. And that takes hours of practice on those lag putts. It's wonderful putts. Oh, that's a nice birdie.
On Alora.
Second shot underway for Leonie Harm. She looks a bit concerned on that.
We'll catch up with her in just a moment. Here's her teammate, Martinez. Nice, strong finishes by both Collado and Martinez for the Knights and the Cougars.
Birdie, birdie.
And that leaves us our top 2 individuals this week. Elizabeth Moon, the freshman, and again, the Cougar headliner, Leonie Harm. They are separated by 1 stroke. Now here on the final hole.
Elizabeth Moon conferring with her coach, trying to decide what to do.
While she does so, let's check in with Haley.
Elizabeth Moon and Leonie Harm have spent a lot of time together the past 3 days. As you mentioned, day 1, they teed off first, and then the last 2 days, obviously last. But on the first day, Elizabeth told me she was trying to get used to the fast pace of Leonie Harm. And then day 2, they had a little bit more time to kill, a chance to get to know each other. And actually, Leonie even gave her some tips along the way. One funny story Elizabeth shared was that she had hit a ball into the bunker, and then when she walked out of the bunker to go out onto the green, she forgot to knock the sand off of her shoes. So she brought that sand onto the green with her, and Leonie said, hey, Elizabeth, maybe you should knock the sand off your shoes a little bit so that other putters coming up don't have to walk through it. So they've had a good chance to bond the last few days.
Don't know how much sand in Forest City, Arkansas, Moon had to track through growing up.
Well, a very good shot. She is on the green and hoping that it will come down. So she will have an eagle putt on this 18th hole at the Conservatory Golf Course. Again, Elizabeth Moon, 1 shot behind individual leader Leonie Harm of Germany.
Moon birdied 18 yesterday.
Leonie in good position for her 3rd shot. Talking to Garrett Chadwell right now about this 3rd shot. It usually does, Lincoln. Chipping and putting, and it's coming down to this final hole for the medalist, the individual title.
Moon was able to make up a little bit of ground today on Harm with just the 1 bogey, but Harm's able to find 4 birdies on the front 9, a couple here on the back. And as a result, you add it all up, a 1-stroke edge right now on Moon. Harm for the week 7 under, Moon 6 under. This hole could very well have a say in whether or not Harm is able to take that title outright or if we head to a playoff once again. Leonie, your top-ranked individual in the American this year, ranked 10th by some.
Yeah, she's going to have a career on the LPGA or the European LPGA because she's got a bright future, and she's got street cred with that win at the British Women's Amateur last summer and playing in the inaugural Augusta Women's Amateur a couple of weeks ago in Augusta, Georgia. Again, she didn't make the cut in Augusta, but she played the famed Augusta National on a Saturday practice round.
3rd straight year here at the Hammock Beach Resort Conservatory Course. We are on another one of their beautiful courses the year prior when Houston claimed its first win over there on the Ocean Course. Houston's never finished worse than 3rd. They're not going to finish worse than 1st today.
Yeah, and I really think they can make some noise in the regional as well because with this lineup that Coach Chadwell has, Avelik, Rayner, Screen, Martinez, and Harm, I think they can do well in the regionals. Crucial chip now for Leonie Harm. Nicely done. She's going to have about a 7-foot birdie putt. 7-foot putt for birdie.
And she has a 1-stroke edge on Moon, the freshman who's been pushing her all week.
Well, I said it was a putt out, maybe a Well, it is an eagle putt, but boy, it is a monster eagle putt.
She's going to gauge the distance with those strides.
Elizabeth Moon from Forest City, Arkansas.
Sounds like a city with some hazards to play through.
Sure does. A lot of forest over there. Well, looks like she's going to chip it. She's just off the green.
You see Harm's ball? Down to our final two golfers this week. And Elizabeth Moon is still in the championship conversation.
It's going to come down to two putts. Two putts. It's the freshman versus the senior. The winner of the Ladies British Amateur versus one of the best golfers from Forest City, Arkansas.
If Forest City had a Mount Rushmore,
she'd be on it.
Meanwhile, the German lining up a big putt.
Putt's going to break a slightly left to right. Again, another pace putt. Forbrid had a similar putt, but just a little longer. And she made her birdie.
Harm, your leader.
Wow. Harm, your champion.
Leonie Harm leaves no doubt. She is the class of the American once again here in 2019.
What a gutsy putt by Leonie Harm. And now Moon will try to make her birdie and remain in second place. She's got second place wrapped up, but Leonie Harm really, really closed the door on Elizabeth Moon.
You're going to have three Cougars finishing in the top six. Make it four in the top six with a three-way tie for six. And Moon with a strong finish as well. We will be saying her name often over the next 3 years here in the American. Those two talents come together. What a 3 days it was for that pairing.
Final two groupings for Houston and UCF both went birdie, 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 birdie.
Leonie Harm is your 2019 individual champion for the women here in the American. And she and her teammates get to celebrate the team title for a third time in program history. Back-to-back champions, your Houston Cougars. It was a dominating performance on this Championship Tuesday where the teammates pushed themselves. When we come back, a chance to chat with the Cougars as they sweep the titles here in 2019.
Scores!
3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a fourth straight year.
Cueto from 30!
Unbelievable. And be able to celebrate the second championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
Powerful minds, strong in mind,
strong in body.
The American is dedicated
to promoting success
through a healthy, powerful mind.
If it is okay to seek help,
For injuries we can see,
then it needs to be okay
to seek help for injuries
we can't see.
Mental health awareness is important because I think a lot of times it goes unnoticed in college athletics.
We look after our bodies, and it's just as important to look after our mental health.
It's time to end the stigma
related to mental health
and seeking help.
End the stigma.
Strong in mind, strong in body, strong in school, sport, life.
The grind is 10% physical and 90% mental.
The mind is the power.
The body is a means to jump higher, run faster,
be smarter, and live longer.
There is no weakness when it comes to seeking help.
We are stronger together.
So let's talk about it.
A waterfall starts with one drop.
Change starts with one person.
The American is dedicated to ending the stigma related to mental health
and promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
More than 7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 22 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power Six conference known as the American, powered by determination.
In a city known for doing things our way, there's a university that's driven to do the same, to blur the outdated line between academic pursuits and active ones, not just to learn, but to experience, to create, solve, build, to explore and express, to lead. Because an education isn't something you get, it's something you do.
Power comes in all forms.
Power is a big tackle, a big save, a clutch hit,
or a game-winning shot.
Power is also standing up for what is right.
There is power in the sportsmanship that is displayed across the American.
Power is respecting opponents,
officials,
student athletes,
coaches, and team representatives.
Power is not tolerating racial or ethnic comments,
profanities, or other improper actions while at the game.
The American.
Power for life.
The American. Power for life.
The American.
Power for life.
Well, the Houston Cougars, a 29-stroke victory to hold off UCF, are your back-to-back champions, claiming their third title, leading the way with a 5-under showing today, 8-under for the week. Your individual champion, Leonie Harm. Leonie is with our Haley Outen.
Leonie, your first conference tournament title in American history. You're a senior. As you headed to the green on 18 and putted for birdie, what was going through your mind?
Well, luckily by the time I putted for birdie, it was like already, I mean, I'm not going to 3-putt this. I was just like, calm down now, don't jinx anything. Yeah, I felt really confident going into this week, even though I haven't played very well in the last two events. But I just really like this golf course, and yeah, I've been really close to winning 2 years in a row, and I thought all good comes in 3. So I'm really happy that I could close out like that.
You just mentioned it. You've come close here a few times now. As a senior playing in your final one, how focused were you to not let this one slip away today?
Holy cow, I was very stressed. Like, I've just always tried to tell myself, being like, it's fine, like, you're going to be fine, just make pars are going to be fine. It's really a lot of, like, positive self-talk that was involved there, because I'm just getting, like, very easily ahead of myself in those situations. But
your third team title at Houston, 4 of your teammates in there, including yourself, in that top 6. How much of this was a team effort today to bring this title back to Houston?
That's just awesome. We're such a family. Like, I love these guys so much. I love them so much. And we've gotten through lows together in the fall. We've gotten through highs together in the spring. And it's just such an honor being part of them.
You went neck to neck with Elizabeth Moon, who's standing right here from UCF over the last 3 days. You're a senior, she's a freshman, and you both battled. What was that experience like, getting to spend time with Elizabeth these past few days?
I'm just really impressed how professional she is. I mean, she's a freshman, and like I definitely did not look like that when I was a freshman. Way more emotional, way more all over the place, and she really like sticks to her game plan. She hits some amazing shots, putts really, really well. So like, well, watch out, American Conference. She's coming for the next 3 titles.
Lastly, Leonie, for you to walk away with the title in your final American Championship, what was the biggest difference for you about your game this year and why you were able to pull this one off?
I don't really know. I feel like I've matured a lot this spring. I've learned to enjoy the game on the good and bad days, on the good and bad shots. I'm still not happy when I like leave a putt line short, but at least I'm getting over it better than last year. So yeah, that definitely helped.
Thank you, Leonie. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We are now joined by the runner-up, Elizabeth Moon. Elizabeth, just a freshman competing for UCF, and you went neck to neck with Leonie all 3 days here at the conference tournament. What is your biggest takeaway so far from this championship?
I would say my biggest takeaway is I have a lot more maturing to do since I am a freshman. Leonie said my emotions weren't out there, but my emotions were pretty everywhere. I tried to hide it as best as I could, but internally it was all over the place, and I think that's what really got to me. But other than that, I'm very satisfied with the way I played this week, and hopefully I'll play just as well at regionals.
How much did you grow here over the course of the last 3 days, getting to compete and play neck to neck against a veteran like Leonie?
I think I improved so much as a player, not just on the course but off the course as well. Like, my teammates supported me throughout the entire week, and that's really helped as well.
Competing in the conference tournament, and you have your family here standing off to the side. How meaningful is it to have them here, getting to experience this great moment for you in your first season?
Yes, it was. They stuck with me all 54 holes, should I say, and I can't thank them enough for coming out here and watching me and supporting me. It means. I don't tell them enough, but it means a lot to me for them to come and watch me.
Congratulations, Elizabeth. We look forward to seeing you out here the next few years. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Haley, thank you. Elizabeth came into this week already among the top 3 ranked golfers in the conference and certainly lived up to those expectations. Today she was 3 under, finishes 2 strokes back of the title. Leonie Harm, your individual champion. When we come back, some trophies officially handed out to Garrett Chadwell's Cougars as Houston, back-to-back years here in Palm Coast, Florida, able to claim the title.
Scores 3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a 4th straight year. Cueto from 30.
Unbelievable. And be able to celebrate the 7th championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
We're the visionaries chasing our dreams. Make a difference how we're living. Never routine. Conquer the impossible. Rise, break through. Fire in the belly, we've got something to prove. The world's watching while we're reaching for gold. Go higher, go further, let your story unfold. Passionately smashing every expectation. Create and express, every act is innovation. Powerhouse.
Powerful minds, strong in mind, strong in body.
The American is dedicated
to promoting success
through a healthy, powerful mind.
If it is okay to seek help
for injuries we can see,
then it needs to be okay
to seek help for injuries
we can't see.
Mental health awareness is important because I think a lot of times it goes unnoticed in college athletics.
We look after our bodies, and it's just as important to look after our mental health.
It's time to end the stigma
related to mental health
and seeking help. End the stigma.
There's a lot to do out there. You can either talk about it or you can do something about it. At ECU, we choose to do things. And we can help you do just about anything. Come here to keep hometowns thriving, hearts beating, or make waves across the world. Wherever you're headed, this ship can get you there. With 30,000 of us doing so much, you won't find anyone sitting around. You ready?
In a city known for doing things our way, there's a university that's driven to do the same, to blur the outdated line between academic pursuits and active ones, not just to learn, but to experience, to create, solve, build, to explore and express, to lead. Because an education isn't something you get, it's something you do.
Power comes in all forms.
Power is a big tackle,
a big save, a clutch hit,
or a game-winning shot.
Power is also standing up for what is right.
There is power in the sportsmanship that is displayed across the American.
Power is respecting opponents,
officials,
student athletes,
coaches, and team representatives.
Power is not tolerating racial or ethnic comments,
profanities, or other improper actions while at the game.
The American.
Power for life.
The American. Power for life.
The American. Power for life.
I was the last person anybody's thinking is going to be in college athletics. One thing I really valued about my SMU experience was being in engineering school. I was taught how to think. In 2012, my wife and I decided to start our foundation. Basically, the goal is to let kids be kids while they're in the hospital, but also be able to return to being a kid when they're done. A huge part of my quality of life is the experiences that I've had, and that was all provided by SMU. I'm Thomas Morstead. Game changers are shaped here.
When everything's a little different, one thing remains the same: the chance to make a real difference. Because the norm here is anything but. Every day our volume grows. Every moment a bit more colorful than the last. From a city that's 300 years old, we inspire things that are entirely new. Because that's what creates the change the world desperately needs.
People say we're big. Wow. Well, what is big?
This is big.
It's an energy. An opportunity. So go on. Dream big. Because big is just the beginning.
I got it.
Strong in mind, strong in body, strong in school, sport, life.
The grind is 10% physical and 90% mental.
The mind is the power.
The body is a means to jump higher, run faster,
be smarter, and live longer.
There is no weakness when it comes to seeking help.
We are stronger together.
So let's talk about it.
A waterfall starts with one drop.
Change starts with one person.
The American is dedicated to ending the stigma related to mental health.
And promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
More than 7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 22 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power Six conference known as the American, powered by determination.
Still prepping for the official awards ceremony. Great to have you with us today. Lincoln Rose, Ed Clements, Haley Outen with you on the American Digital Network. Big thanks to our ADN crew who had to suffer through the conditions in Florida at the Hammock Beach Resort here at the Conservatory. But final tallies are complete. Trophies coming up. And suspect Haley will have a final interview with Garrett Chadwell of Houston. But congratulations again, UCF. What a showing they have as they finish second. Memphis takes third, ECU fourth, as USF also claims a top 5 showing this week. We're going to pause for a moment. The next you hear from us, there will be some trophies to be handed out. But Ed, before we step aside for a moment, just your thoughts here on this third and final day.
Lincoln quality of play. You look up and down the line, Leone Harm with her 67, Elizabeth Moon with the 69. They both birdie. Number 18, Dorothea Forbridge of East Carolina with a 67, and Maddie Rayner with a 70. Quality play up and down the board. Houston continues their strong play. You got to believe the Houston Cougars could be a force in the regional tournament because the way they're playing right now, especially at the top of their team with Leona Harm, who's really experience, and very impressed with the way she played today. Equally impressed with young Elizabeth Moon, only a freshman, to really force Leona Harm to make a birdie on the final hole.
3 great days of championship golf for the women complete. Reminder, 1 week from today, next Tuesday, back in Florida, we'll have the men's championship. Similar format here on the American Digital Network. You'll be able to join us for the live coverage on the Facebook page for the American Digital Network Plus. I've enjoyed having all the family members chiming in throughout the broadcast. All right, so we will pause here for just a moment. Next thing you will see are some trophies and a final post-match recap. Again, your Houston Cougars, a sweep of the titles, both team and individual, thanks to the leadership of Leone Harm along the way.
I don't think so. There's no third. There's no third. But they're really hot. You can try it.
No, you're not good.
I only take a little.
You can say no.
I'm practicing my Spanish. Good. She doesn't teach me.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your attendance today at the 2019 American Athletic Conference Women's Golf Championship. On behalf of the entire league membership and Commissioner Oresco, we would like to congratulate all of the competitors for an exciting golf championship this year. The American Athletic Conference would like to thank our hosts, Hammock Beach Resort and UCF. A special thanks to the volunteers, USGA, rules officials, and the North Florida PGA. Thank you for providing the atmosphere for a great championship. Making our awards presentation today is Bobby Wagan, Assistant Commissioner from the American Athletic Conference. Without further ado, we'd like to begin the awards ceremony by honoring the 2019 American Athletic Conference Women's Golf Individual Runner-Up. With a 54-hole score of 6 under 210 from UCF, Elizabeth Moon.
Good job.
And now, the 2019 American Athletic Conference Women's Golf Individual Champion with a 54-hole score of 8 under 208. From Houston, congratulations, Leonie Harm. Leonie, please come say a few words for us.
Well, a few words is difficult, as you all know me. That's not my strong suit. Well, thank you, first of all, to Hammock Beach for having us. Yeah, really, all 4 years I played here, and it's always been amazing. I love these courses, both of them. Yeah, thank you, UCF, for hosting us and for putting on a great fight every year. I love playing with you guys. Elizabeth, damn, freshman. That doesn't go live anywhere. I'm impressed with how professional you are. I can only bow down. I was not anywhere like that when I was a freshman. Really great playing. Well, where I come from, you don't define family by blood. You do it by the people, like, describe it as the people that stick with you through the worst and the greatest. And y'all are the best. I love y'all. Thank you so much.
And now to our team awards. The 2019 Women's Golf Championship runner-up team. With a score of 17 over 881, the UCF Knights. Would the captains please come forward to accept the 2019 American Athletic Conference Women's Golf runner-up trophy. Congratulations, UCF. And now the women's trophy of the day goes to the 2019 American Athletic Conference Women's Golf Team Champions. Congratulations to the Houston Cougars. The Cougars finished the day with a team score of 13 under 851.
We'll get that one next year. First place. It's because I was first.
And now as I call your name, would each member of the 2019 American Athletic Conference Women's Golf Championship team please come forward and accept your individual award. First up, Amanda Elich. Hannah Screen. Maria Martinez. Maddie Rayner. Leonie Harm. Assistant coach Lydia Gum. And head coach Garrett Chadwell.
I'll just echo some thanks that were said earlier, and you really just can't push repeat. To everybody at Hammock Beach and their staff, I know they worked pretty tirelessly yesterday getting the golf course ready for some bunkers that were washed out, and I know they brought in some extra crews. So just thank you guys to allowing us to host our championship here. I think all the rules officials are still over at 18. Ben has been such a good part of us for the last few years, and I know we'll miss him, but we're in great hands with Brian and the rest of the staff. So just want to thank all the rules officials if they're around somewhere for their help this week, and all the volunteers so everybody can follow back home. To my team, this has been the best year yet. We've been able to do this a couple times, and you guys are just so deserving of this. The belief that you have in each other. As it got harder, we got better this week, and I think that's a true testament to how much you guys believe in each other and also believe in yourself. So you guys are going to remember this for a long time. So thank you for such a special week. Lydia, I'm so thankful you chose us. It's been a joy watching you go from a player to a coach, and the best is ahead of you. So just thank you for being here with us. So Katina, I hope this is one of many. Our new sport administrator, so thank you so much for being here. And Heath, he's 2 for 2 with us this year, our photographer and video guy. He does such great work, and we'll be able to capture these moments and have them for a lifetime. And lastly, to our parents who came all the way over here, they are the cool kids. So Scooter and Kim, thank you guys so much for being on the road with us and keeping things light and loose. And we've got a couple more weeks ahead, so hopefully you'll still join us. So thank you guys, everybody. Good luck the rest of the year and this summer, and I hope to see you guys back next year. So thank you.
Let's hear it one last time for the 2019 champion, Houston Cougars. And congrats to all of our competitors over the past 3 days. Thank you all for your attendance. This concludes our awards presentation. Thank you again, and please arrive home safely.
See if we can track down some final interviews before signing off here in Florida. Again, the Cougars claim their 3rd ever women's golf championship for the first time. They go back-to-back 2018 and 2019. Saw an emotional Garrett Chadwell. Now joins our Haley Outen.
Coach, you told me yesterday that this just might be your best team yet at Houston. They were able to win by 30 strokes today and put on the best team performance ever in the American Championship. What did they ultimately prove?
They just keep getting better, and I think that's a good sign of a great team is peaking at the right time, and I don't even know what to say for the words. As I said earlier, that just as it got harder, they got better, and today's performance was. It was similar to last year. It was maybe a little tighter going into last year, but just the way they performed down the stretch each and every day was just a true testament to them.
Your senior, Leonie Harm, has come very close the past couple of years, but playing here in her final conference tournament, how pleased are you that she's able to head back to Houston with the individual title?
I said it's funny. I was like, you finally caught your unicorn. It's kind of eluded her for the past couple of years, and it's. Me personally, I've been able to do this 3 times, but that's more special than for me today, just to see her finally get that monkey off her back and get the one that's the one she's wanted the most. So a 67 final round, and hats off to Elizabeth. I mean, for a freshman, we're going to have to see her for another 3 years. Just great playing by the both of them too.
Ticket punch to the NCAA tournament, if there was any question. What can this group achieve? What is the limit for this team?
I think the sky is. The moment's not too big for them, so I look forward to being with them hopefully for another month, and wherever we get sent, I know we'll get their best, and it's just a true joy to go up and down the road with them.
Tournament champions and a new dad this year. If baby Chesney Lynn is watching at home, what is your message to her as a new dad?
You're gonna get me.
Gotcha.
her mom's got to get some trophies because we've now got 2 since Chesney's gone. So mom's going to have to catch up. But we've got 2 trophies now at the house that are bigger than she is. So, it's just it's a great year.
Thank you, Garrett.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So we crowned the Cougars champions here in Palm Coast, Florida. 1 week from today, we'll be in Palm Harbor, Florida, over at the Innsbrook Golf and Spa Resort at the Copperhead Course to crown a champion for the men. But what a debut for many, including the freshman Moon and, of course, the finale for the senior Harm. Cougars sweep the titles here in the American in 2019 and now set their sights on the NCAA tournament. Great to have you with us here for our live coverage on the American Digital Network. For Ed Clements, Haley Alton, our entire ADN crew, I'm Lincoln Rose. The Cougars claim their 3rd ever team title in the American. Leonie Harm, the class of the bunch, with the individual crown.